Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Expanded Guide. Today, Travis and I, the Expanded Guide buddies, as we call ourselves every time Travis walks in. I'm like, hey, there's my buddy with the Expanded Guides.
Yeah, we definitely do that.
Anyways, we're here talking about Finn Edwards, the bootlegger. Why don't you take Finn this week? I usually take them. Why don't you take Finn?
Oh, yeah. Well, Finn Edwards, the bootlegger, he is a rogue investigator, and one of the few that I've played, the only one I think I've played more than once.
It's because he has 4 book.
Yeah, he can play yellow cards.
Yeah.
He's got 1 brain, 4 book, 3 fist, and 4 foot, which is actually a really nice stat line. Having a 1 in, your brain is kind of awkward, but it's, par for the course for rogues, so, you've already planned to deal with it.
Yeah, it's kind of in Finn's case, it's actually kind of a positive and a negative, because... Yeah. Sucks you have 1 brain, but it means that, his remaining stat line is, really good.
Honestly, if he was, 3s across the board, he would be a garbage investigator.
Yes, 100%.
If those stats are in his other 3, if any of them were in his brain, he would be significantly worse, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, he lets you take an extra action during your turn, which can only be used to evade. Not just basic evades, though, but you can also use it to play, for example, events that have the evade text in bold, or use assets that have that as well, as we'll be seeing. His Elder Sign effect is +1 for each exhausted enemy in play, and if you succeed by 2 or more, you may discover 1 clue at your location, which never... It's actually, a very good Elder Sign ability, but it never comes up when you want it.
It doesn't hit too often, but when it does, though, you're like, wow, that's just, that's
you just did
value.
something in the game's would you like a clue as well? And you're like...
Yeah, I think I would.
Yeah. I think he's got 7/7, which is great.
Yeah.
Health and sanity. His deck size is a standard 30, and then he can play illicit cards 0 to 5, which is pretty garbage.
Yeah.
Rogue cards 0 to 3, which you really wish it was 0 to more.
Yeah.
And neutral cards 0 to 5, and then up to 5 other level 0 seeker and or survivor cards, which is really where he his deck building gets kind of spicy. There's lots of neat things that you can do with those 5 slots.
Yeah. Bye, Julie.
And yeah, like we did for Mandy and the Dunwich Investigators, I believe we talk about all the green cards up front, and then we look at the off
No,
colors?
I think this one's just
we just stuff them all together?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, ignore that then. Deck building requirements are these cards that are pictured below, and a basic weakness, of course. First up, we have Finn's Trusty 38. Commits for a foot and a wild, which is actually really nice, because you don't always want to shoot things with it. He's definitely can be combat oriented investigator because it was 3 punch, but sometimes you don't need that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you better gun. Yeah, it's fast, has 3 ammo. It's action, you can spend ammo to fight, get +2 punch, and if the enemy is not engaged with you, you deal +1 damage for this attack, which is pretty easy to do. Someone else has it, he evades it for free. You know, it's aloof, I guess, which you can't do it because that's how aloof works.
Yeah.
And we have Smuggled Goods. This is his other signature card. It's a 0 cost event that commits for a wild. You play only if there are no ready enemies at your location, and you search your discard pile or the top 9 cards of your deck for an illicit card and draw it. If you search your deck, you shuffle Smuggled Goods into your deck. Really? Wow, I've never done that.
What? I've honestly though, I've only played this card once in the 4 times I've
never shuffled
played
into my deck.
Wow, we learn something new every day, or we've stepped into a new dimension, and this is
Yeah,
we both
my brain was just if you search your deck, my brain was you shuffle your deck because that's what you do.
But that actually, it's a nice balance to caught red-handed because it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, that makes them actually more playable. Wow.
Smuggled Goods did see
it's a lot better now, I think.
This is gonna sound a little bit. People are going to disagree with this, but I think I'm 100% right in this. But while Scarlet Keys gave a bunch of cool illicit cards to Finn, I don't think they particularly made Finn better. However, I do think it made Smuggled Goods a better card, because you're going to just be playing more illicit cards, more cards that are good that happen to be illicit. But apart from dirty fighting, which Finn could run anyway, it's not really improving the illicit part of his deck building. However, it does make Smuggled Goods better.
Yeah, the illicit side of them do make Finn better in that they're cards that he can play that make him good. Yeah, but they don't make the illicit deck building part better.
Yeah, exactly, because most of them were already in the Rogue 0-3 that he could play. Yeah.
Yeah, they also gave us copies 2 and 3 of this.
Yes, yeah, with
that are better.
Which one's that one? That's the Friends in Low Places or whatever it's called. Yeah, the one with but that one helps you draw cards. You gotta like that one.
Oh, we have Caught Red-Handed as our last one. Oh, he's playing Mandy.
Yeah.
Your signature weakness is you ready each enemy at your location. Yeah, surprise! It's just a continuation of the last Mandy video.
Yeah.
You ready each enemy at your location or a connecting location, and each hunter enemy at a connecting location moves one location towards you. If no enemies move as a result of this effect, you shuffle a card by hand back in your deck. So basically, you draw this and you shuffle it back into your deck.
I hate this card. It's like the least threatening weakness.
Yeah, like when it does something, everyone at the table's like, yeah.
It's because it's not in your deck anymore.
Yeah.
Like this thing is just a draw killer. That's what this thing exists for.
Yeah.
I played it with a skill focused draw through your deck skids, and it just ruins that plan. Because you're like, oh, back in, oh, back in, oh, back in.
It does do like a neat thing of sort of encouraging you a little bit to play into the caring about evading enemies and like having them be evaded with cards
definitely.
like Followed, I think is what it's called. So that's kind of neat.
It is.
It's like push you towards that playstyle, but yeah, no, this one's
Yeah, I think
just getting wing. It's like Rex's Curse.
It is, yeah, exactly, yeah. Because it just kills a draw, and you're like, and then when it happens, you're like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because they don't even like attack.
No, they just like kind of hang out, and you're like, oh, cool.
And you're like, I guess I'm gonna evade this enemy for free next turn.
Oh darn, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Finn's strengths are he's got a flexible stat line. That 3 in book, 4 in book, 3 in fist, and 4 in foot. Lets him do pretty much whatever you need it to.
Yeah.
The one brain, you're just going to eat it in the Mythos phase, but whatever. His ability is pretty handy. It is basically an extra action every turn.
Yeah.
Green has enough cards to like get things out of evasions that you're not just like evading for the sake of evading.
Yeah, and now also, we're not going to be talking about it here, but like Scarlet Keys did a bunch of cool cards. Like now even just like with Dirty Fighting, your action is now a fight action.
Yeah.
Which is kind of good.
Which I mean, like Innsmouth Conspiracy brought that too.
Yeah, it's true with the 25.
His weaknesses, he has a pretty garbage card pool.
Yeah.
This is just like this is like just strictly worse than Dunwich.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. Actually, it is, yeah.
Like, this is like Jenny's deck building, but with further stipulations.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is. It is. You're actually right.
It's not good.
Which is actually, like, so crazy to say that, because, I mean, this is true for the Dunwich Investigators. What makes them exciting is the fact that the 5 cards can open them up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of true for Finn, right? Because the problem is that all the illicit cards are in green.
Yep.
We need, like, an illicit survivor card, or, like some sort of, like, heinous study and seeker that's, like, you know, like...
I mean, there's, like, a handful of illicit cards on their colors.
We do talk about them in this video.
Yeah, they aren't enough to, like, make it good or worthwhile. And then he's got the one brain, which you're going to fail brain tests, probably. You can definitely put cards in your deck, especially with those 5 Seeker and Survivor slots to mitigate that. Or you can just play green cards and mitigate it. They got solid options these days, so...
Yeah, yeah. All right, well, why don't we go into the core set? And I'll take these cards. We have, see, they're just kind of spattering all over the place. So we got Magnifying Glass, which is in our clue video. This just helps you investigate better. While it's not exactly, like, necessary in Finn, it is always just a nice addition.
Yeah.
Dr. Milan, kind of just same thing in our Staples video. If you see that little Elder sign, that means it's going to appear in our Staples video. Dr. Milan does a lot of great things for Finn. It gives him 5 book, and it gives him resources.
Both are things that he likes as a green character.
Exactly.
At least if you want to investigate.
Yeah, which you probably... Finn's a great flex investigator. Yeah. He flexes really well. Deduction, more clues is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pickpocketing. Okay, so now we're getting into some green cards, and we're going to talk about why they are particularly nice. In Finn Edwards, we got... This one is just after you evade an enemy, exhaust it, and draw a card. Hey, would you like to just evade an enemy and draw a card for no action? That sounds like a fun time. It's going to be what you're doing. You might as well play pickpocketing.
Yep.
Leo DeLuca just gives you more actions, which means you can take essentially 5 actions a turn with Finn Edwards, which is a nice time.
Yeah, he's also just... He's more... I see... Generally, when you play Finn, you're either playing, like, Lola, Santiago, or Delilah O'Rourke as your ally.
Yes.
Depending on what you're focusing on, and Leo DeLuca is just kind of there to fill in.
Yeah, Leo's a great level 0 slot for when you get usually Lola or Delilah,
Yeah.
We got Elusive. It's a very strong event. You play it only during your turn. You disengage from each enemy engaged with you and move to a real location with no enemies. Just say goodbye, I'll see you later.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Not an evasion card, though.
No, it's not an evasion card, but It's kind of just like one of those things that it's a panic button. Like with Finn, you're not going to need to press the panic button as much because it's kind of built into your kit, but it's still just a good option.
Not a complaint, just noting that. I mean, it doesn't even take an action as fast, right?
That's true, yeah.
This is designed. That's definitely a card they designed. It's one of the cards they've designed.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing is just when the first Taboo list came out and they were like, we're getting rid of Elusive. And we were like, what? The card's not even that? Wait a minute. What?
We just actually read because we play green cards and you can play it.
Yeah. We got Backstab. This card's really nice and Finn. It just uses your your foot instead of your fist and deals +2 damage. Hey, your foot is 4, your fist is 3. That's 1 higher. And then you're probably going to get some foot boost through the form of...
It's easier to boost your foot up in green.
Exactly, yeah. Sneak Attack, deal 2 damage to an exhausted enemy at your location. This combos really well with Finn's ability. Scavenging, it's a build that you can do with Finn. Because you have 4 book and you can play survivor cards. So you can just succeed by 2 or more while investigating. You can exhaust scavenging, choose an item card in your discard pile, add it to your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, it's my turn. Yeah, baseball bat as an option for like a red weapon if you want to play combat Finn. There are like an exceptional amount of red and yellow cards here from the core set because a lot of them are fairly strong, but also, I mean, just everyone has them, so they're all reasonable options to the Finn deck. If you have full collection, you're probably not playing baseball bat for your weapon.
No.
But just have Forgotten Age and core set. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, definitely.
+2 for an attack puts you up to 5. Hit for +1 damage, and sometimes you have discard your baseball bat, but that's okay. You can get it back with your scavenging.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Got Cunning Distraction here. This one's an evade action.
Yeah, you can play this one for free.
Yeah, and just like blow out all the monsters at your location and then take your turn normally.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The 5 resource cost actually isn't as heinous as it is for other investigators because you're in green.
Yep.
Except we have Look What I Found, a great red event that's just like really just a fantastic. If you don't know what to throw in, put these in. Getting clues for failing instead of not getting clues is really good.
Hell yeah.
In that same vein, Lucky is good because, not failing instead of failing.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Survival Instinct, really, actually, very much shines in Finn Edwards, where sometimes Finn already has, inherent protection I'm going to start over. So, evasion-centric characters sometimes have this issue that they fall into. You see it very prominently, especially in the Forgotten Age, where you can get kind of locked into turns where you just spend all 3 actions evading, because if you don't, you're dead.
Yeah.
And Finn does have a little bit of inherent protection for that because he gets his extra actions. So he can sit there locked with 3 enemies. But if you're playing 4 players, sometimes you get the trouble with 4 enemies.
Things are going well. Yeah.
Things are going good. Survival Instinct is a great option to bail you out of that.
Yeah.
Cost no experience. All you have to do is pass a test, and it's each other enemy.
Yeah.
This card, I think, is criminally underplayed. So, in our play group at least. Except we got Flashlight, great for investigating. Yeah. Emergency cash because money is good. Mental dexterity, you're gonna use your foot at some point. If you're not using your foot for something as Finn,
it's either going very well or
just play different investigator. Yeah. Man. Yeah, you built your deck really weird.
Yeah.
And Unexpected Courage is it is just a good card. It's a little more valuable for Finn because it pushes his do things stats. It's valuable in every stat for him. Yeah. Right? You can puts you up to 6 book, which is good to get over some higher shroud locations. You can get in a fight test at 5, at least 5, evasion for 6. And even puts your brain up to 3, which is
nice for rotting remains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if and in conjunction with other cards that might be boosting it.
Yeah. Perception and Overpower follow the same thing as manual decks. You're probably going to be using these stats, and you're going to know if you're going to want these in your deck. And they're both practice. You can make a very good practice makes perfect Finn deck.
You can.
Burglary. You can exhaust Burglary to investigate. If you succeed instead of discovering clues, gain 3 resources. This card doesn't appear on a lot of our expanded guides, but Finn has 4 book. Yeah. Because a lot of rogues, you see that they are designed to work with lockpicks, right?
Yeah.
Finn is designed to take lockpicks and break it even further, right?
Yeah.
So Burglary is really good for that as well.
Yeah. Lots of investigators can play this, but Finn might want to.
Yes.
And this might be the only video that it shows up, and I can't remember. This might be the token one.
It could. I can't imagine
Like, I did play Burglary 3, or the Burglary 2, whichever one it is, in that Bob Jenkins deck, and it was pretty okay.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't have any complaints about it.
Yeah, no, well, Burglary 2 is different than Burglary 0.
Yeah, I mean, they're like similar and functional. They turn your investigate actions into resources, so.
Leo DeLuca. This guy is just the upgraded version, just costs less.
Yeah.
And then we got Sure Gamble, another card that I think is also just not played by us because it's just we know it's good.
Yeah.
It just reveals a Chaos token. After you reveal a Chaos token, you switch its minus to a plus. That -3 is now a +3.
Yeah.
And it's also quietly also really good with rogues with some cards that we're going to see coming up in the future.
Yeah, I think there's like a really neat deck that I was kind of toying with a while ago where you put like shotguns with Sure Gamble.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find an investigator who could like play actual shotgun with it.
I'm surprised Bryn hasn't built a sawed-off shotgun Sure Gamble deck, and he just uses it to, like, he draws a -2, he still passes, be like, you know what, I'm going to take a +2 instead.
Yeah.
And
No, I think he hasn't been able to play a fighter in a while.
It's true. No.
So. Dunwich, we have shortcut. Free movement is good.
Yes, it is.
You'll evade an enemy, bail your teammate out, bail yourself out. Great. Fire Axe is here because it's actually a very solid card for Finn. He plays a surprisingly good Dark Horse deck, as we'll get to here. Actually, might as well skip down and talk about it right now. So Finn makes use of all of his stats, which is good. Because one of the issues with Dark Horse as a card is sometimes, like, if you're not using all of the stats, then you're basically... Like, why not just play like a magnifying glass or something like that, right? Or like a Hawkeye fold and counter for the brain and the book. But like Finn gets full use out of it. He uses every part of the Dark Horse. 2 brain, like 5 book, 4 punch, and 5 foot is a hell of a stat line.
Those are good numbers.
It's a good number to have. Fire Axe plays into that really well. If you want to slant towards the fighting side, and then the Mariner's Compass, we'll see in the Innsmouth section, slants to the investigation side.
Yeah.
But they are just like solid weapons for him, even without Dark Horse. You can build a neat sort of deck with the gambling one from Forgotten Age. You spend 3 resources.
High Roller.
High Roller, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you constantly have 3 money to buy things if you need. You put in a High Roller for the test, and you don't have any money, so your Fire Axe gets to do extra damage.
That seems fun.
It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Pete Sylvester. This man gives you +1 foot and heals horror, which sometimes is all you need.
Yeah, he's a great also option for like holding the place for Delilah or Lola.
Yep.
Because it depends on kind of like what you want.
Depends a little which campaign you're playing too,
Very
right?
true, very true, yeah.
So, we have I'm Outta Here. This is a nice little tech card, just resign. Again, plays nicely with that sort of like evasion lock you can get into, where you can sit there and just babysit enemies till the rest of your team's out, and then, get yourself out.
Yeah, you're like, I think I'm actually going to go.
Yeah. And if it's not relevant to resign, it's just 2 feet.
Yep.
You're going to use them. Lone Wolf, great card for Finn again. He can, he plays very well on his own. He can handle pretty much anything, except for the game just like lambasts him with brain tests. And you just get free money for doing your own thing.
Yeah.
Rise to the Occasion is a solid tech card to protect your brain.
Yeah. Frozen in Fear, Rotting Remains.
Yeah, it puts you up to 4 to whatever, to their 3.
Yep.
It's a good place to be. Quick Thinking in the green staple cards. It's good. Yeah. Dark Horse talked about. And Switchblade level 2. Switchblade level 1 is here because you don't play it.
Yeah, just don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
This is a good weapon for...
Sorry.
Yeah, you get to stab people with +2, and then if you succeed by 2 or more, you deal +1 damage. Just a solid fighting weapon.
All right, we haven't had one of these in a while where they're actually short, so we're gonna go by cycle for it as opposed to just by slides. So I'll let you keep going.
Yeah. We want to talk about Relic Charisma. I feel cheated now.
Just say they're in the staple video.
They're in the staple video. You got more of the things that if you want them.
Yeah.
Streetwise, another fantastic card for Finn.
Yeah, it's really good.
You just always have lots of book and foot when you need it. Ace in the Hole. This is a very fun card. It's not a card that you can like build your deck around. It's just like sort of a good stuff card where if you happen to have 6 XP laying around and the core of your deck is nice and good, you can pop this in for the worst card in your deck, and sometimes you just get an extra turn.
Yeah. I don't know. I was watching an old video on our channel, and I played a Preston. My first Preston deck was a Red Glove Man Ace in the Hole deck, and I'm just like, what happened to me? I used to be fun. Now I'm like, I'll just do this boring ass Daryl Simmons deck.
We switched souls, Justin.
Yeah.
And then we got a Chicago Typewriter here. This one is a level 4 green card, but you can play it because it's illicit.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Just give him Rogue who's 5. This one's a pretty solid big gun for him because 3 punch is like on the lower side for fighters, but you can sink extra actions into the punch.
Yeah.
So some common play patterns for sort of off fighters is to like foot-based fighters is to evade an enemy and then like chip them down over a couple actions. You already get you can afford to put extra actions into the typewriter because your evasion action in that case is free.
Definitely. All right, we're on to Carcosa. I'll take this one. I mean, look at all the yellow! We have Fieldwork. After you move to location, if it has 1 clue on it, you exhaust it, you get +2 skill value for the next test you perform this phase. Just a really good card, yeah. Really nice, just like good level 0 card. Also has some really good rogue synergy as well, because you're going to want to be passing by 2 for a lot of skills, for a lot of things, effects, yeah.
This is that too.
Yeah. No stone unturned, just search your deck or an investigator's deck for a card, and then that investigator draws it. Just a nice level 0 option if you want. It's a great one of as well.
I like that a lot as my 5th card.
Yeah. This is one of the assets that actually has the evade keyword on it. So you can do this one for your free action with Finn. Almost called him Skids. I should show some respect to Finn.
It's kind of insulting.
For stealth, you can exhaust it to evade. The chosen enemy gets -2 evade for this evasion attempt. And if you disengage it, but do not exhaust it until the end of your turn, that enemy cannot engage you. That's like, you have to be aware of that, because if there's someone else at your location, you're like, it's your problem. And while that's the rogue thing to do, it's not like the good team thing to do.
Yeah.
Because you'll probably just have to take that enemy back and evade it anyway.
They're like, hey, but I'm going to die. And you're like,
But it's just like a free evade, which is at a very good rate as well. Sleight of hand. There's a lot of cool things you can do with this that I am too boring to talk about because I just want to play deduction.
You use this to put Lupar on the plane and shoot stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's the big thing, yeah.
That's it.
I mean, maybe there's like a book you could put into play with Finn at level 0. Probably. Encyclopedia, could you imagine? Wow. +2 to a test.
Right, that was boring.
We have logical reasoning. Play only have a clue. That investigator either heals to horror or discards a frozen in fear from their threat area.
Really good card for Finn.
Yeah, it's a great one of as well. It also, like, if things are looking good, it's still just a guts.
Yeah.
Cheap shot, you get to fight and add your foot to your skill value, so that means you're at 7. And if you succeed by 2 or more, you automatically evade the attacked enemy. A lot of good stuff in there. You might be asking, why would I do this and not just evade the enemy that's with me? Because, well, you get more juice.
You get one damage.
And also, like, if you're with 2 enemies, you can evade one of them and then do this to the other.
Yeah, this also lets you like compare your foot to their punch.
Yes.
If it happens to be a high foot enemy.
Yeah. Lockpicks, it's in our staples. It's phenomenal in Finn. Yeah. It's just, you get to go at 8. You're going to pass, and it's going to be great. Yeah. Sneak attack, deal 2 damage to an enemy not engaged with you at your location. So this is evading.
Also a luxury upgrade, though.
Yeah, but it is kind of nice for, not so much for Finn exactly, because like he can evade them for free as an action. But like if you're running stealth, it's a nice upgrade for you as well.
Yeah,
because then it's just like, get rid of it. And the upgrade at pickpocketing is now fast. Most important, fast.
Yeah, this one's really good.
Yeah, and then after you evade an enemy, you exhaust it, you draw a card to gain a resource. If you succeed by 2 or more, you get to do both of those instead. Which you're probably realistically going to do, because most evade values live in 2 to 3.
Yep.
Yeah. We got the Lupara. Here's the thing that you sleight of hand in play. Does not provoke attacks opportunity when you play it. You get a +1 fist, +1 for this attack. If it entered play, you get an additional +1, which is going to mean you're going to be at 5.
Yeah, so you're 5 and you shoot for 3 damage. That's
pretty
a lot,
spicy.
man.
Yeah. And they got the Key of Yeast, which is good.
It's pretty good. Yeah, like Dark Horse, we talked about your stats being pretty good with their +1. But when you have
+3,
5 and 8,
Yeah, you have 4 brain. 4 brain, 7, 6, 7. My God.
He's a monster.
I think my only solo run that I played, I did a Key of Yeast Finn deck, and it was a great time.
What about that Wendy one?
We don't talk about that.
Oh, okay.
We don't talk about the Wendy one. The Wendy one died in the past.
Finn's home cycle. Got Tooth of Esley for your accessory slot, +1 brain, +1 foot, resolving the ability on a treachery card. And after you succeed a skill test on a treachery card, you exhaust to draw 1 card.
I burnt my tongue.
Oh, cool. This is a pretty solid option, especially as that one of if you intend to try and pass the brain tests on treachery cards. Less good if you're just going to eat them or pass them off with like you handle this one. But if you're planning to try and pass those brain tests, this is a solid inclusion.
Yeah.
You handle this one. Green staple. Draw a brain test. Give it to someone else easy. Eavesdrop. You choose an unengaged enemy at your location. Test book X where X is their evade value. If you succeed, you get to discover 2 clues at your location. This is nice for Finn. He has an easy way to unengage them. He has the book to like reasonably pass this test and the options to like boost that book enough to consistently pass them. Good card for him.
Yeah.
Backpack, neutral staple, find your items. It's good.
It's good.
Lucky cigarette case.
Very good.
Yeah, staple, draw more cards. Good.
It's like also to me, it's like there's like 2 investigators that like Lucky Cigarette Case is one of the strongest green cards in the game, I think. But it's like a super staple for me for Finn and Trish because they both play lockpicks so well.
Yeah.
I mean, even fucking what's her name, Winifred does. But like, it's so good in Finn.
I think you can justify actually playing a different accessory slot on Finn because you are going to be playing pickpocketing as a way to generate extra cards and resources.
Yeah, but then this becomes for me the upgraded version is when it's like, you know, when you get to search the top and just like turn each of your lockpicks into that. It's gross. It's too strong.
Yeah. We have level 0 Hatchet Man, which is the only Hatchet Man. It's practice skill that packs makes perfect package. Commits for a foot, and if the skill test is successful during an evasion attempt, the next time the evaded enemy takes damage this turn, you deal an additional damage. It's like a vicious blow.
This card is shooting, the stocks are way up on Hatchet Man with Dirty Fighting. Like Hatchet Man's about to see his day in the fucking sun.
Yeah. I mean, I played this card with in my Dark Horse Finn deck with the 25 automatic. It is good.
Yeah, no, and I played it even just recently without a 25 automatic, and it's still a good time.
Yeah.
And it's just going to become even better.
Yeah, you don't even have to like be able to fight to do it well. You can just evade them and then like sneak attack them for 3 damage or something.
Yep.
Yeah, Slipaway. 2 costs. Another one of those evasion events that you can play with your free action. You add your book to your skill value for this evasion attempt. If you succeed by 2 or more and the evaded enemy is not elite, it's not ready in the next upkeep phase. It's got relevant symbols. It's got a strong effect where you don't have to care about the enemy for a turn. Good to dig you out of those evasion locks. Solid card.
Oh, yeah.
We have Fence here. This is here because Finn gets to play illicit cards, and this also cares about illicit cards, so yeah.
Yeah.
Gives the illicit card fast, and if it was already fast, reduces cost by 1. It's like a card you can play in Finn.
Yeah, I think that...
This is the video it shows up in.
Yeah, to continue to my point previously, this is one that when you have Scarlet Keys, this card's going to go up in value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Lola. She is a staple, exceptionally good for Finn. You get +1 book, +1 foot. Those are both things you care about most of the time.
I mean, she goes against Dark Horse, but like she can also work with it to just discover clues in the middle of a test. But like you then go to 6s in your stats for foot and book. That's a good number.
It is a good number, yeah.
A number do be big.
We have our Nate Bow. This is a fun weapon option for skids. I mean, not skids. Damn it. It is a fun weapon option for skids, but also for Finn. You get to use your foot instead of your punch and deal +2 damage. The action to knock another arrow, and the downside of this, where like you engage an enemy and then like if you miss, you're like shit, isn't so bad for Finn because you do have that extra action you can get away from him.
You're probably just going to evade first if you have an enemy with you because it's kind of like you lose value if you don't.
Yeah. We got Payday. Gain 1 resource for each action you perform this turn, including this one. If it's your turn, you end your turn. You place as your last action. You just inherently have 4 most turns, so it's a better emergency cash most of the time.
Yeah.
You have Skeleton Key, exceptional fast, attached to your location. If it's already attached to your location, you get it back. And the Attached Shroud's location is 1. It's a great card for, actually not so much for like investigating Finn. It's much better for like Flex Finn and Fighting Finn because it lets you investigate just with this single card.
I mean, it is also kind of fun if you're playing Lola, just like, you know, buy clues for $1.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that too. Yeah, neat card.
All right, we are into the Circle Undone. Everyone's favorite circle is the one that's undone. We have Fingerprint Kit. It's in our clue video, so we talk about it in more detail there, but it basically just can get you more clues. And Finn's going to reliably hit on this, and he's also rogue, which means you're going to have the cash to play it.
Yep.
Track Shoes is like You'll see it in a lot of Finn's deck as like a one of for the last of his 5 splash cards because it's just very good in him. It gives you +1 foot and additional movement. Like that's really good for
both nice things to
asking for very little. I'm going to talk about the 45 Thompson and its 2 upgrades down below it together. These are illicit, so we get a Guardian card in the Finn pool. Wow.
Oh my god.
They let you just fight with +2 on the base one, and the upgrade ones also let you fight with +2.
Yep.
The Thompson one, it pays itself back, which is still, I think, one of the coolest designs of weapons. Just, the ammo becomes money as you shoot it. And then the green one is... Alright, if you succeed by at least X, you may spend 1 ammo to deal this attack's damage to another enemy at your location where X is the enemy's fight value. Okay, so it's kind of like the spray and pray, like kind of the spraying flavor of the card. So like this can be good, especially if you are in that thing where you're planning to be engaged with a lot of enemies. This can be really beneficial for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have the Tennessee Sour Mash. I'm also going to talk about its 2 upgrades, which are also down below it, and a red card. Wow. So the base version is you can exhaust it. You get +2 for brain on a skill test on a treachery card, and you can also discard it to get +3 fist for this attack. I know in all the Finn decks I've seen Travis play, Travis runs Tennessee Sour Mash. It's really good Mythos phase protection, and also like Frozen in Fear protection as well.
Yeah, and both the upgrades are good too.
Yeah, and then also the nice thing about this one too is that it doesn't take any of your splash card slots either because it is a green card. And then when it's empty, you can smash it over someone's head. The Tennessee Sour Mash Rogue version is fast, which is super roguey. Still comes in with 2 supplies. You get +3 for the brain test, and the fight is now +3 and deal +1 damage. A really nice upgrade for Finn because it allows him to attack at 6 and deal 2 damage.
Yeah, you can pass a couple of brain tests and then just like crack it over an enemy. And you're like, yeah.
Yeah. And then the red version, it comes with 3 supplies. Still gives +2. And then when you discard it, you fight. You get +3 fist for this attack. If this attack succeeds against a non-elite enemy, you automatically evade it. So really, it's like the flavor of Finn that you want for this. They both have their positives for Finn. Decoy, it's an evade action, and I'm sure that's why Travis put it here. And also because the card's pretty good. You can just spend money to evade enemies. Yeah. Without a test. Yeah. Oh, +1 foot. This card gives foot +1. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dream Eaters.
Dream Eaters, yeah. Crystallizer Dreams. One of Bryn's favorite cards. So after when you put it into play, you put a Guardian of the Crystallizer into your deck, which you don't care about because you just run away from him. And then after you play an event, you stick under the Crystallizer, and you can commit cards that are under the Crystallizer to tests. Mm-hmm. Solid if you're playing event-oriented stuff, but you need to build around it a little bit. Mm-hmm. Scrounge for Supplies is a red staple. Get a level 0 card from your discard pile back to your hand.
I think where this one kind of has a home is that if you have 4 other of your splash cards that you would like an extra copy of, and you just want like a one of, this could be a way of doing that. Yeah, and also grab your rogue cards too at level 0.
Yeah, it's also nice insurance in like the early levels where you don't have to. I mean, like it's pretty low cost, but you don't like have to upgrade your lockpicks first.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
So. Easy Mark, my favorite rogue economy cards. Gain 2 resources and draw a card, and after you play it, you can play another from your hand, no cost.
Let's go.
Yeah, you play it when you have 2. If you get the 3rd, great. If you don't,
Yeah. I play it at 1 these days now.
Yeah, you wouldn't, you monster.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just want the cards.
Like, sometimes you need the money in the card, but... Oh yeah, Momentum. The skill test is successful. You reduce the difficulty of the next skill test you perform in this phase by X, where X amount that you succeed by to a maximum of 3. This is a... like kind of neat way to get over
Frozen in Fear
and other like brain tests in particular that you need to make an action for, like from the core set Dreams of Aurelia is a brain check, so you can like do a foot check and then crush it, and then you're like, check it out, it's a brain 0 test.
Just like lock picks and just be like, hey, I'm gonna pass this test.
Yeah,
Momentum's a really fun card. It's also practiced.
Yeah, it is. Burglary. This is the level 2 version. You can exhaust it. Investigate. If you succeed, instead getting clues, you get 2 resources and 1 additional resource for each point you succeed by. It is just like kind of a better version of the level 0 one. If you have the experience for it, and it's a solid way to turn your extra actions into money. Haste. Limit 1 per investigator, takes up an arcane slot, which you super don't care about. I cannot emphasize how little you value those.
Yeah. They're there for haste.
Yeah. After you perform the same type of action twice in a row, you can exhaust, haste, take another action of that type again. Really, this is very powerful for Finn with the activate action.
Mm-hmm.
You can lock picks, and then you can like burglary, and then you can do another action thing. It is just like a 5th action every turn, basically. We have Delilah O'Rourke. This is your fighting ally, +1 punch, +1 foot, and then she shoots people, and she shoots them better if they've tripped.
If only there was a way you could evade people.
Yeah.
If only.
The Garrote Wire, solid accessory slot if you're playing the combat builds where you can just gorp 1 health enemies without spending action.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
Oh, we're on Innsmouth. Holy cow, so that was a 1-slider.
Wow.
We call that in the biz a 1-slider.
There's no Approximates Perfect on those slides because I feel like it needed to be here, I guess, but like it's a good card for Finn.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Innsmouth, for detailed breakdown of the Bless and Curse cards, specifically Curse, you can check the video description for links to the relevant archetype guides.
Just play like a pretty solid Curse build in general, I guess the green cards for it, and then he can take like some of the level 0.
Yellow ones, like Deep Knowledge.
The really good yellow one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The level 0 one. And then for red stuff,
Dragon.
you can play like... You can play Token of Faith, I guess, to offset stuff a little bit.
Whoa, let's go.
Slightly less sarcastic than what we've been a couple months ago.
Yeah, and actually, that's kind of sick. Oh, man. Nothing will beat that time when Bryn drew 3 curse tokens into the auto-fail. That was heaven. That was so sick. We have a 25 automatic, which is in our weapon video, but this card is obviously very good for most rogues, but it's really nice in Finn because you get to fight actionless. Yeah. It's also fast. I forget that each time.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The level 0 version is like fine as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, because you don't need to... What's the nice thing about the level 0 version in Finn is that you don't need to waste time evading an enemy.
Yeah,
right?
If you need to like pump 3 shots into an enemy, you still have 3 actions to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Breaking and Entering is also just a really freaking good card in Finn.
Yeah.
You get to add your foot to your Investigate, so it's basically like a one-use lockpicks, and if you succeed by 2 or more, you may automatically evade an enemy at this location. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. You might be thinking again, but why would I not just evade an enemy with me or grab an enemy and evade it with someone else? Because you're getting a clue at the exact same time. Mariner's Compass, this is what Travis alluded to earlier in the video. Not that much earlier, luckily. We're blazing through this.
Yeah, this one's pretty...
We're going with the speed of Finn Edwards.
We're on like Mandy's speed, but there's so many less cards.
Yeah. And it works really well with Dark Horse. It's a very nice option for Finn as well. Even honestly, just like... Even if you're not doing Dark Horse, you could probably play one of these and get away with it. Yeah. Under Surveillance, I think this is a fun card that doesn't get played because it's just, I think, a bit too expensive for what it does. But it's, you attach it to your location, and you after a non-elite enemy enters the attached location, like via the Hunter keyword, or if you draw a card, you automatically evade that enemy and discover one clue attached location that enemy is not ready during the next upkeep phase. It just freezes the enemy. Yeah, it does a lot of cool things. It just requires some setup, and also just, I think, a bit too many resources for it to be really popping off.
Yeah, like I think this card could do some neat stuff these days in like a Preston build with a new Scarlet Keys trap thing, makeshift trap, whatever it's called, or you can like hold the enemy there and then have it take damage for a while or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No, I think Under Surveillance definitely has a lot. The text on the card is good. I think the text on the card is good.
Yeah,
and then also
that 3 resources is a little tough though.
But it also could be just something that I think that you keep it in your hand until there's a hunter enemy that shows up, and you say, "Don't worry, guys, this guy's going to give us a clue this turn." Right.
Yep.
I think that's where like the real potential from it comes in. But all right, we're gonna switch between Edge of the Earth because there's a multi slides for this one.
Yeah, also, you only got 5.
Who's counting? Apparently you are.
And I talked about one of them earlier. Stole one.
So I really got 4.5. 4 and 25. Yeah.
Did you want me to go first? Or?
Yeah, this is you.
Oh, okay.
I got 4. I just did 4.5 cards, Travis. I am tired.
Yeah, well, you burnt your tongue earlier.
I did, yeah.
Here we got Jeremiah Kirby's nice level 0 ally for yellow. You get +1 book. Yeah. After his play, choose even or odd, and then you get to draw cards that have a cost that matches the chosen option. Shuffle the rest into your deck. It's just a Dr. Milan alternative if you're not playing with Taboo. Scout ahead. 1 cost event to move up to 3 times. Enemies don't engage you during this movement. Commits for 2 feet. Great card to catch up to your teammates. The 2-foot is nice, and again, it helps break those evasion locks where you can like evade 3 dudes and then just sprint away to catch up to your team.
Yeah.
Schaffner's is here, plays quite nicely with the scavenging builds if you have lots of items. You know, you will run out of money if you're trying to cycle through things like fingerprint kits and Tennessee sour mashes and guns and stuff like that. And this is a nice way to kind of get around that. Jury Rig, stick on an item asset controlled by an enemy or investigate your location. Has a lightning bolt during a skill test. Spend a durability to get +2 value for the test. Just helps you get over some of those skill humps. Like having 4 and 3 in your do things stats isn't great, but it's fine. Having 6 and 5 is like good though.
Yeah.
So, Pocket Telescope lets you look at the revealed size of connecting unrevealed locations and action you investigate. To investigate revealed connected locations if you're there. You can steal, like, clues from... It's a little bit of action compression where you don't have to move there to actually get the clues. And then it also gives you something to do during those turns where, like, maybe your actual clue getter is, you know, has to slog through a big location or a high amount of clues and there's an enemy there and you don't have the means to kill it.
Yeah.
So you're just evading it, and you're like, well, it only takes me 1 action to evade it, but I can't just leave, so I'll just investigate a different location.
Yeah, Pocket Telescope is just a nice, fun card if you're just trying to, like, you know, be normal with it, and absolutely bust if you're trying to break the game with it.
Yeah, that was the next point. There's a couple of scenarios where if you play this and you look at unrevealed locations, it's going to be really, really easy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Hit Me. This is a Rogue Lucky.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Yeah. Counter Espionage. This is a solid choice to not eat shit during the Mythos phase. You draw a card that would suck for you and you just take a different one instead, or if you have enough money, you just take like a card from your deck instead.
Yeah.
Next up we have Cheat the System. This is the green synergy card. This is like pretty okay for Finn. Generally for your off-color things, you're going to be playing, most of the time you're going to play assets because you want them to have like a lasting impact in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So you're going to be sitting in play. It's not too difficult to have this be a fast emergency cache. Sometimes more, depending on what you're playing.
Yeah, definitely.
We have the Red Clock, level 2. This is a solid accessory. Obviously not as good as level 5 one that he can't play. Suck it, Finn.
Yeah. You know what we gotta do? Bob's gotta buy Finn the level 5 one just to see why they're so scared of Finn Edwards.
Yeah.
Once he takes control of time.
Yeah. I mean, these are still all. It's still like a fine accessory from. They're still all good
yeah.
things it does. So
yeah,
no complaints there.
We got Black Market, which is a really fun rogue card where you just get to like basically like put up until there's 5 cards from everybody's deck out, and then you get to people can play them as long as they're events or assets. Yeah, it's really nice. Yep. Moxie, I think it's really nice and Finn. Gives you +1 foot, +1 brain, soaks a bunch of meat damage. It is soft on horror, which makes sense, but now you just pass your things by spending your money.
This does play very well if you're playing Pete Sylvester as your ally, though.
Definitely.
He takes all the brain damage forever, and then you can just sit there and you have like, 6 foot and 2 brain. That
seems good.
Okay place to be.
Eon Chart, you get to just take an extra move, evade, or investigate action. Yeah. Sinead Beauregard, also probably incredible in Finn. Haven't played it, but she seems incredible everywhere, but she has like the 2 stats that Finn cares about.
Just drag enemies around with you.
Yeah, and then honestly, there's a lot of potential with her bottom reaction ability.
Some dumb hunter enemies hunt down your clue getting, you're like, nah, you're coming with me, bud.
Evade them every turn, just move them with you so your weakness pops. Yeah, let's go. We have Blur. This is really nice in Finn. I know someone's going to comment that I'm a Blur hater, and it's true. I don't want to spend my time evading enemies, but with Finn, I don't
want to spend action on this.
Yeah, but
or spend a resource on it.
For Finn, what's really nice is you use this as your free action, and then you get an additional action out of it. So you actually will then have 4 actions.
Oh yeah, it turns your evade action into anything.
Yeah, so it's really nice, and it's very nice in Finn. He of course can't do the level 4 version because he's a little sucker. And that would have been really nice in Finn.
It would have been kind of wild.
Yeah, but it's still a very good option for a Finn card, especially if you're doing the cheat the system. It's a very nice option for this as well.
It's really good with haste as well because it's an activate.
Yeah, exactly.
So many actions.
Unscrupulous Loan, just get 10 money. And then if you do not have 10 or more resources in your pool at the end of the game, you exile Unscrupulous Loan.
Oh, yeah.
I want cash now, Finn says. A lot of, most rogues can do big money, and Finn's no exception. Because I think the payoff, it's not here, Black Fan. I'm just going to find it. I think Black Fan is very possible. So, like, big money is possible.
Yeah,
you can do well
Black
connected.
Fan's three experience, I think.
Yeah.
Might be 2, actually, exceptional. Yeah, like, Finn can play a big money deck. It's, like... I'd say in general worse than other Green Investigators just because you don't have access to level 4 and 5.
Agreed. But he could.
Yeah.
We have the 3 color talent cards. I'm going to talk about one, and then I'm going to try to talk about them all at the same time.
Good luck.
They each cost 3, and they each have 3 experience, and they each commit for different symbols. They're all talents, and they all come in with 2 resources, and we replenish these resources at the start of each round.
Yeah.
Resources on them may be spent to pay for 3 different traits, and you can also, as a lightning bolt during a skill test on one of those, on a card with one of those traits, you can spend a resource from it to get +1 skill value for this test. Bruiser is armor, firearm, and melee. Crafty is insight, tool, or trick. And Antiquary is favor, relic, or ritual. So really this kind of just depends on the Finn that you want to be. If you are here on the fighting Finn, if you're leaning more towards that, Bruiser is really good. If you're here to kind of like, play some really good trick cards, like, I don't know, that breaking and entering we just talked about, or the tools, like a lockpick, which I'm pretty sure is a tool.
It definitely is. Yeah, Crafty's really strong for Finn.
Yeah, so Crafty's really nice there. And then if you're doing favor cards, Antiquary is really nice for that.
Yeah, there's also like a solid amount of relics.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Like the occasional ritual you might want to play, but it's mostly relics in favor on that one.
Yeah. I'll call for backup.
Yeah, okay.
This was a card we spoiled. I don't know why, but this is the one card that it's stuck with me.
It's like the only notable thing about it.
If you're playing a synergy deck, this can do a lot of things depending on what you have there.
It can definitely do a lot of things.
Yeah. If you get all 5, everyone at the table claps for you. I know I was there. It happened to me once. Yeah. When I did it with Zoe, and everyone was like. Anyways, I mean, it's a lot of impact for one card, but you have to build around this. I think this card is really worth it if you're like hard in synergy.
Yeah.
All right, Travis.
Return twos. We got Hot Streak level 2, gain 10 resources. This is nice support for that big money deck we talked about. Contraband. This one's a fantastic flavor card for Finn. That's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
You choose an asset controlled by Investigator location and either put 2 ammo or supply tokens on that asset and draw a card, or a double number of ammo and or supply tokens on that asset. Good for your guns, great support card for your goon or whatever. Just a solid card for 2 experience.
Oh yeah.
Good symbols too. We have our level 3 stealth. This is a lightning bolt instead of an action. And yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Neat. Yeah, man, it's honestly not that different for Finn. Than the level 0 one, but like is technically better.
Yeah, it is technically better.
Because you can spend your extra action to evade another guy.
Yes. Yeah.
So. Yeah. Level 2 backpack. This one searches so many cards. You'll always find what you want. If you have items or supplies in your deck that you want, then you want this. And he even comes with 2. And I even have a supply.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm tired of playing backpack.
Buckle up!
And we got Knight of Swords, level 3. I think this is a pretty fun card. When you succeed a skill test, you can you just get +1 skill value for the skill test. You don't have to exhaust it. That's sick. Yeah. And then you can discard to get +3 instead. Yeah. If you really need. But yeah, you just get +1. Like all your things that care about how much you succeed by, you just do it 1 bear. Yeah. All the time.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Fun card.
All right. On to the Investigator Decks.
Lots of stuff here.
Yeah, so we have the level 0 lockpicks. This is a great placeholder for the level 1 lockpicks that you're going to eventually put into your deck.
Yep.
Finn actually has a pretty hard time breaking these. It can happen. It'll happen. It'll happen.
It will happen.
But he has a harder time breaking this one than some of the other investigators. We have the Mauser, which is a nice weapon for Finn, especially because if you do not ready it by succeeding by 2 or more, the enemy's probably evaded anyway.
Yes, it kind of negates the downside there.
Yeah, and the upgrade just makes it even easier to get there. Streetwise, this is a level 0 version. It's just in your deck, and it only gives you +2 as opposed to +3. But still, like...
Those are both stats to care about, so...
Exactly, yeah. Sneak by, this is just like you turn your free action into just 2 additional money. Which is kind of nice. Which is kind of nice,
It gives you +2 foot if you need that foot for something else. Like, great card in Finn.
We have Nimble. This is a very, very, very powerful skill that it allows you to just, if it's successful, you immediately move to a connecting location. This fits in the same kind of spot that I always forget the name. The survivor skill that Travis talked about from the core set.
Survival instinct.
Survival instinct, yes. It fits into a similar kind of thing for it, where it gets you out of those problems when you're surrounded by enemies. Yeah. Even if you, like, just take one of them with you. If you had 3, you evade 2 of them, and then you just get out of there with one of them.
It's also a great panic button for Finn if someone else needs help, where you can be like, if you drew an enemy, like your Seeker who's 2 locations away drew an enemy, you're like, no problem, I'll just ditch this guy and be there to help you for my turn.
Yes, it's very good. And it becomes even better with the Thieves' Tools, where you can do it on Investigates now, is really nice.
Yeah.
We have the 18 Derringer, which I think is actually a really good weapon for Finn.
Red Illicit card.
I called him Finn O'Toole. I called him... What's happening? What's going on? But yeah,
they do it. They're like very similar investigators. They both get an extra action.
Yeah.
They both have like kind of garbage card pools. They have very similar stat lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're both like convicts.
They are, yeah.
They're both criminals.
But Finn, I think it's a very good option for him because you don't miss your shot if you fail.
Yeah.
Which is nice because once again the enemy is probably evaded. Liquid Courage, you get to heal horror, and then you test Brain 2. If you succeed, you draw a card. If you fail, you heal an additional horror and discard a card at random from your hand. As Bryn always says, the 2 Liquid Courages are designed for different types of people, and this is the one that's here for our good friend Finn Edwards.
Yep.
Yeah. Cheap Shot, the upgraded version. If you succeed by 3 or more, you get to return it to your hand at the end of your turn, which is really
nice. You
nice.
have to succeed by 1 or more to get the automatic evade.
Yeah. Slip Away, same thing. You succeed by 1 or more, and if you succeed by 3 or more, it goes back to your hand. Upgraded Manual Decks, just more Manual Decks. Lucky Cigarette Case, which should have the staple button on it, but you've already, if you wanted to look at the first one, you can find that here. This card's really nice with lockpicks because, for example, you have Lola Santiago out, you use lockpicks, you go 10 to the game's 3, you draw a -1, you look at the top 6 cards of your deck and add 1 to your hand. Very nice.
This card's actually disgusting.
Yes. Sharpshooter. You're talking about Sharpshooter, right? This card's actually disgusting.
Yes, but
in a different way.
Yeah.
Very
different way.
When you would fight, use a fight ability in a firearm asset, you can exhaust Sharpshooter and choose 1 or both. It uses foot instead of fist, and all modifiers for your fist for this attack modify your foot instead, and use the attacked enemy's evade value for this attack instead of their fight value. This is a really cool card that unfortunately lives in a world where it's very hard to find. Luckily, it actually is becoming a bit easier with the new Scarlet Keys tools that they have to find cards in their deck. But
yep, if you're playing like this and like dirty fighting, you don't feel very bad about slapping talent onto your friends in low places.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Upgraded Backstab also can return to your hand if you succeed by 2 or more. Notably, it doesn't give you any fist boost because the card is very strong. Would be like kind of like wild if it did. Yeah. You'll still probably return this to your hand, but just be aware of that. Copycat. This card's fun. You just basically get to play a skill from someone else's discard pile, and then it goes to the bottom of their deck.
Is it good? I don't know.
It really depends on what other people... This card depends on what the other people are playing, right?
It really is a gambit.
It is, yeah.
Great type line there.
The Beretta M1918. This is just a big-ass fucking gun.
Yep.
It's illicit, so Finn can play it even though it's level 4. And then we got the Derringer level 2. I think this is, once again, a really nice option for Finn. You get 3 shots for 2 money. Like, that's a great rate. That's a survivor rate right there.
And you get to attack at base 5.
Yeah, punch. And then if you miss, you can attack at base 6 and you don't spend ammo on the first one.
Slots.
Yeah,
it's illicit.
It's a very nice weapon for Finn, I think.
Yeah.
All right, on to the deck list.
Yeah, here is our starting Finn deck list. What we got going on here? Yeah, okay, so we got a big pile of assets. We're playing Jeremiah Kirby as our ally and one of our 5 off-color cards. Because drawing cards is good. We don't have 2... We have Faustian Bargain for money. So, like and we have, 9 skills in our deck. Mm-hmm. So, like, Jeremiah Kirby should hit reasonably often. He's also like kind of the way to dig for whatever
you need.
Yeah, either the investigating side of things or the fighting side of things.
Yeah, because lockpicks, track shoes, and I think burglary are odd.
Yeah.
And everything else is even, I think.
Yeah.
Which is nice, because then you can find what you need.
Yeah. We have Derringer and the 25 on Mac for shooting stuff, along with Finn's trusty 38. We got lockpicks and Jeremiah for investigating. Burglary is economy. Pickpocketing, also economy. Track shoes is just, again, that nice one of, like Justin mentioned when it came up. You handle this one. Logical reasoning, keep you from exploding in the Mythos phase. Faustian Bargain is all the money you need. And then Slipaway is sometimes you need to keep an enemy down for an extra turn. Then we have a nice suite of skills here. Unexpected Courages for everything. Nimble for the movement. Quick Thinking because it's just good. Hatchet Man for extra damage. And Overpower to help get over some of those higher fight values. So yeah, it's definitely like a flex Finn deck. Slanted a little bit towards combat. But definitely you could tweak this or take it, really upgrade it in kind of any way you want.
Yeah, no, it's a really good base.
Yeah.
Yeah, Finn is, even though as we said earlier on, his card pool is kind of it's a very fun, there's a lot of things that you can do with Finn that make him a very fun investigator to play.
Yeah, like if I was just showing to a game and I didn't know what anyone else was bringing, I would feel very comfortable showing up with this Finn deck.
Hell yeah. Yeah. All right, well, thank you everyone who watched this episode. For the next expanded guide, we're going to be talking about Father Mateo. So that'll be fun. We're going to have a lot of, you can find this in our spell video, but also it'll be nice to chat about the Holy Father with a bit more perspective on the character.
Yeah.
Because he's a fun guy. He's fun.
It's pretty okay.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one, and as always, a GG's.